Have you ever felt that gut-wrenching drop in your stomach the moment you realize the life you built is a lie? That was me 3 years ago. I remember the day so clearly. It was our 10th anniversary. I'd spent all afternoon cooking his favorite meal. The whole house smelled like rosemary and garlic. I was wearing the dress he bought me for our first date, feeling that familiar flutter of excitement. Then his phone buzzed on the counter. A message from work. But the preview text was anything but professional. Can't wait to see you tonight, my love. Forget her. My world shattered. Just like that, 10 years, 2 kids, a shared life, evaporated by a single text message. The initial shock was like being plunged into ice-cold water. I couldn't breathe. Then came the anger, a hot, roaring fire that threatened to consume me. My first instinct was to scream, to throw things, to confront him the second he walked through the door. But as I stood there, shaking, staring at the perfectly set table for a celebration that would never happen, a different thought crept in. A cold, clear, and surprisingly calm thought. Revenge is a dish best served cold. And my kitchen was about to get very, very chilly. I didn't confront him that night. Instead, I smiled. I played the part of the doting wife, poured him a glass of wine, and listened to him lie about his long day at the office. Every word was a dagger, but I didn't flinch. I just smiled and planned. For the next few weeks, I became a detective in my own home. I was meticulous. I gathered evidence not just of the affair, but of his financial secrets, the hidden credit cards, the business trips that were actually romantic getaways, the money he'd siphoned from our joint account. It was ugly. Far uglier than I could have imagined. He wasn't just cheating on me. He was methodically dismantling our future for his own selfish desires. The more I uncovered, the less I cried. The sadness was replaced by a steely resolve. This wasn't just about a broken heart anymore. This was about justice. It was about protecting myself and my children. I contacted the best divorce lawyer I could find. When I laid out the folder of evidence on her desk, she just raised an eyebrow and said, "Well, this is going to be straightforward." And it was. When the day finally came to serve him the papers, I didn't do it at home. No, that would have been too easy. I had them delivered to his office. During his big quarterly presentation, in front of his boss and the entire team, I heard later that he turned ghost white and couldn't finish his speech. Petty, absolutely satisfying, you have no idea. The divorce was brutal, but I was prepared. He tried to fight, to lie, to paint me as unstable, but facts don't lie. Evidence doesn't have an emotional breakdown. I got the house, full custody, and a settlement that ensured my kids and I would be more than just okay. We would be secure. The first few months of being a single mom were a whirlwind. There were moments of sheer panic, of loneliness so profound it felt like a physical weight. I'd lie awake at night wondering if I'd made a huge mistake. But then I'd look at my kids, sleeping peacefully in their beds, safe and sound, and I knew I had done the right thing. Slowly, I started to rebuild. Not just my life, but myself. I had spent a decade being his wife. I had forgotten who I was. So, I started exploring. I took that pottery class I'd always wanted to try. My first few creations were hilariously lopsided, but the feeling of shaping something new with my own hands was incredibly therapeutic. I started hiking with a local group, pushing my body up mountains, and realizing how strong I was, both physically and mentally. I reconnected with old friends he had subtly pushed away, and their support was a lifeline. We'd have wine nights where we'd laugh until we cried, and I remembered what genuine, uncomplicated friendship felt like. One day I was cleaning out the garage, a space that had been his domain, filled with his junk. In the back, under a dusty tarp, was an old easel and a set of paints I'd bought in college and never used. On a whim, I set it up in the backyard. I started painting. At first it was just splashes of color, angry reds and deep blues, but then something shifted. I started painting the landscapes for my hikes, the faces of my laughing friends, the quiet moments of my new life. I wasn't a master artist, not by a long shot, but I was creating. I was taking all the pain, the anger, the eventual joy, and turning it into something beautiful, something that was entirely mine. I started a small online shop just to see if anyone would be interested in my art. A few sales turned into a dozen, then 100. People weren't just buying paintings, they were connecting with the stories behind them. I received messages from women who had gone through similar betrayals telling me my journey gave them hope. It was humbling and empowering all at once. My little hobby, born from the ashes of my old life, had become a thriving business. I was no longer just a divorced single mom. I was an artist, an entrepreneur, a survivor. 3 years on, my life is unrecognizable in the best possible way. The house that once felt like a prison of bad memories is now filled with laughter, the smell of paint, and the sounds of my kids thriving. I am stronger, happier, and more myself than I have ever been. Looking back, the betrayal was the worst thing that ever happened to me. But it was also the catalyst for the best thing that ever happened to me, finding myself. It forced me to break free from a life that was slowly suffocating me and build a new one on my own terms. So if you're out there, in that dark place of betrayal and heartbreak, I want you to hear this. It feels like the end of the world right now, I know. But it's not. It's the end of a chapter. You have a strength inside you that you haven't even begun to tap into. Allow yourself to feel the anger, the grief, and then when you're ready, channel it. It's not into bitter revenge that will only consume you, but into building something new. Your new life. It's waiting for you. And trust me, it's going to be beautiful. You just have to be brave enough to pick up the pieces and start creating. Thank you for listening to my story. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content on turning life's challenges into your greatest strengths.